Hi guys, so I'm still in the rest area. It's still dark and loud. I hope you guys can hear me okay. But I've made it over to the Raging Justice booth. Tell me a little bit about Raging Justice and what it is that you do.
I'm the lead developer, mostly programming, a little bit of design on Raging Justice. So Raging Justice is a retro-inspired, nostalgic take on the side-scrolling brawler. It's a modern game, but with huge influences from kind of like my formative years when it came to gaming, the games of the arcades of the early 90s and the console games from that era.
So this is kind of Streets of Rage inspired, things like that, yeah?
Yeah, Streets of Rage, Final Fight there are kind of like our twin pillars when it comes to what kind of games do we want to be inspired by. There's, Streets of Rage 2 specifically, Final Fight and Vendetta, which was a Konami game and was a fantastic one, lots of weapons, lots of kind of crunchy action.
So, I'll take that. So how have you moved sort of that retro formula now forward into sort of a modern video game?
So we're trying to make it very accessible rather than some of the old games were a little bit obtuse in their gameplay, like just picking up and play. Some weren't. We've got the HD graphics, so our graphics are bang up to date in terms of the stylings of them. They're not pixel art. I love pixel art, but we decided to go with a very kind of now feel with the quality of the graphics. Our soundtrack, we've got a full 3D surround sound audio, so we're bringing that up to date as well, and just trying to make the game feel instantly nice. I think that's not a really specific term, but a lot of games, the feeling now is different to the feeling then. They're not quite as twitchy, awkward to play.
Okay.
Can't quite describe that very well. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So it's not pixel art. It's not a direct rip. What made you move away from sort of that really sort of old school design? What made you move into, because the 3D models on it, they're gorgeous and it really looks gritty. What made you move away from that retro style and onto this one?
So pixel art works so well for a lot of games, and it would work in this style of game perfectly well. But we wanted to differentiate ourselves. We wanted to have something that was us in terms of the style and the look. The artist that we've got, Jay Howes, he's a fantastic 3D artist. That's his canvas. That's what he works with. And we just thought that this takes us out from that. So we've gone for a pre-rendered approach rather than actually rendering the 3D models all bone in the game in a 3D environment, because we feel that brings that extra bit of nostalgia to it. It plays that much more like the games that we're inspired by. It has that kind of feel of stop motion effect that reminds people of the games they played in their youth, even if it plays like, as I say, like a modern game in some aspects.
See, I was looking at it earlier, and I was going to say claymation, but you're right. It is. It's very stop me.
It's somewhere between claymation. The style of rendering that Jay's gone for gives it a slightly clayish, puttyish feel to them, and that's not a bad thing at all. It makes them feel very solid, the characters, from the look, even though from a technical point of view it's a flat sprite just like any pixel art would be, but it gives it that kind of almost depth, this kind of solidity to the characters that we like.
It's definitely got that further than one dimension feel to it, doesn't it? It's gorgeous looking. So among the sort of all the different weapons as well as the melee combat that you've got, I noticed in your trailer a tractor. So what are the surprises have you guys? I'm a big fan. I'm a country bumpkin. I'm a big fan of my tractors. GTA, weapon of choice. But what other sort of surprises are there in store for us in Raging Justice?
So we have 2 ride-ons in the game at the moment, maybe more in the future, but for now we have 2. We have the tractor, which you've seen, and we have a lawnmower, a ride-on lawnmower, so you can mow down your enemies. There are pretty much anything that you see in the foreground that you can walk past, you can interact with one way or another. On one level there's some pigeons on the floor. Sneak up on them, and you can use them as a weapon by kicking them at somebody. It's a little RSPCA no-no, but it's a virtual environment. It's only a game.
No, that sounds really good, and it is. It looks really brutal. It does. It really does, and it reminds me of the old sort of arcade classics that weren't afraid to do things like that.
Yeah, with everything we do in the game, we're doing for the fun of it. We want things to be fun. If kicking a pigeon into somebody's face is fun, we can do that. We're not harming any pigeons, not even for the sound effects.
Important message.
No pigeons are harmed in the making of this game.
Excellent news. All right, so you're on Steam Greenlight, right?
We have recently been greenlit.
Excellent news. Well done. Congratulations.
So we will be launching. We're launching first on Xbox One with the Idea Xbox program. They're fantastic. We will be very soon after. We'll be on Steam. It'll be on PC and Mac, possibly Linux as well. Going forward from that, iOS, Android. So it runs on mobile phones as well as consoles. It runs on tablets. It runs on anything. I'm a programmer at heart. I like to program. So I will make it work on whatever I can make it work. There will not be a Vectrex version, unfortunately.
Oh, I have a Dreamcast.
I would like it to work on a Dreamcast. Was probably one of my favourite of all-time consoles. It's that Sega Blue Sky effect.
Yep.
That's an arcade game come console. That one, an arcade machine feel to those. I would consider a port if I could get hold of a way of doing that.
I think we need to have a little chat about. I think we need to have a little chat about that. That
Maybe
sounds.
signing us up for something I shouldn't do.
All right. Okay. So, when is it that you're launching on Xbox, and then what are your plans from there then?
Our plans right now are to finish the game in the next couple of months. Then we're going to talk with kind of like Xbox and various other people and find the best time for us to release, because we do want to make a little bit of money out of this. We don't want it to just go hidden away. So we're going to finish, we're going to get it localized, we're going to get it rated, we're going to get it certified, and we're going to get it out as soon as we can after that. Price-wise, we're not going to be too expensive. It's an impulse buy game. It's not one where you want to look at it and go, ooh, not sure, and have to research. You want to see it. It says what it is on the tin. It's a very Ron-Seal game, for want of a better term. So we want people to be able to just go, yeah, I'll buy that. So that's the kind of price we're looking at for that.
Honestly, it reminds me of the sort of games that me and my fella used to sit down and we used to, play them over a cider, just at the end of the day, ultimate catharsis. Not any of this party game nonsense, just ultimate catharsis, and that's what it looks like, and we need more stuff like that, I think.
I agree with that. I agree wholeheartedly. It's the kind of game that you can just break into, play for a little bit, go away from. You don't need lots of people. You can just play co-op. We may have other modes that are more than co-op, but for now it is just the kind of game that you can just, as you say, spend a few minutes, just have a little blast on, get out some of that anger, beat up some people, come away.
Excellent. So before I leave you to the other people who are waiting to play, we've talked about the visual design and the fact that it looks gorgeous, but how does it sound? How is the sound design?
Sound design is amazing. It really is. Our composer, Steve Burke, is a fantastic composer and sound designer. I mean, he's putting his heart into getting the right sound effects for the right things. Like half the baddies is him making very strange voices. He's got a large repertoire of voices that he can put on it.
So if you had to pick one sort of sound effect, one voice from the game that really sort of summed up the game, that was your favourite, that made you smile every time you heard it, what do you think that would be?
There's a couple of sound effects. The one that sounds so right is when you pick, there's a fire hydrant in the game that you can throw. When that hits the floor and makes that clunk, everyone...
Sorry, what clunk?
Fire hydrant.
Yeah, what clunk?
A clunk. It's just I can't make the noise myself. But if I had some sort of metal thing in my throat, I could probably make it. It's that really weighty metal sound that it makes. The other sound that makes me laugh, which probably shouldn't, going back to the pigeon bit, there is an evil dog in the game that will bite you that you have to kick. And it does make a squeal that is slightly comical, but also slightly sad.
I vote for sad dog noise.
You want me to make that?
Make sad dog noise.
I can't do it.
Oh my goodness, that's the most tragic thing I think I've heard so far this convention. Well,
tragic because I did that sound,
this is
not because it was good.
You've turned my day around. That has genuinely turned my day around. All right, so Raging Justice, where can we find out more about the game?
Where can you find out more?
Where can we find out more
Our website, makinggames.com, Twitter, Facebook, we're on there, we're easily found.
Brilliant. Thank you for spending so much time with me today.
Thank you.
You're absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on that.